Coach Gate, we'd ask that you make an opening statement.
Sure. That was, quite a game. Yeah. Coach Tillman and his team were outstanding today. They executed like a team that's been to a dozen Final Fours in the last, 14 years, 15 years, something like that. Lots of experience, and the execution was outstanding. Unfortunately, we came in, we played the first half like it was the first time we've been here in 12 years. So, but I give my guys a ton of credit. They never quit, and they didn't quit today. They played to the last minute, and I'm proud of them. I thought we made some good strides this year in what we did. Winning the ACC championship, was a huge accomplishment for this team. It's been a while since we've done that as well. And then to go into the playoffs and get ourselves into a Final Four just shows, I think, the character of this team, the leadership of this team. I thank my entire coaching staff, Syracuse University, the support that they've given, and most of all the players for doing whatever we ask, committing to the team, putting the team first always, and I think that was the key to us, at least getting here to this Final Four. And unfortunately, we just didn't have our best game today. We dug the hole a little too big, especially against a team that controls the ball and makes it really difficult to make a comeback on them. When they they shoot within the last 10 seconds of almost every possession. And then if they get resets, and it's another 60. So it really puts a lot of pressure on the defense, and our guys gave it everything they had, and certainly proud of them, and they didn't quit. But we'll turn our focus to wrapping up this year and moving on to next year.
Thank you, Coach. We'll take questions for Sam now. Right down in front. Please identify yourself and your affiliation.
Brent Dack, Syracuse.com. Sam, I know it's tough to think about right now, but what would your message be to this team going forward, as Gary said, what they're building towards next year as you reflect on your few years with these guys?
Yeah, I mean, it's a really special group of guys in there, and it's a special group of guys that return, and you got a handful of leaders on that team that are killers and good and baller. Just all those guys are animals in that dressing room, and they've had a chance to taste it a little bit and be here and experience championship weekend. And yeah, I mean, they're going to be back here, and I'm excited to watch those guys play.
Down in front.
Sam, Patrick Stevens with Lacrosse Magazine. What do you kind of think went sideways for you there when they went 8 in a row, and how much did them getting out in transition, which I know you guys wanted to do, how much do you think that ultimately hurt you guys?
Yeah, I mean, they've been here before. Coach Gates said it. They know how to play in these games, and they know how to strangle you when you're down. It's an unbelievable Maryland team that'll give Cornell a game on Monday, and I just think they know how to win, and they know how to step on your throat when they have it.
To the left.
Stephen Fonte from Channel 9 in Syracuse. Sam, you alluded to right there the experience factor, though, and that 8-0 run that they went on. You talked about what Maryland did right. What do you feel like you guys, I guess, left out there during that 8-0 run that maybe could have helped stem the tide?
Yeah, I mean, I think there's all over the field. You could point to plays that didn't go our way that I think could have changed the tides of that game. And I think shooting the ball, I think defending, I think all of it, all the above. We weren't good enough in that during that 8-0 run, and it cost us.
We take 2 more for Sam. One all the way in the back, please.
Mario Sacco, WSYR. Sam, what did it mean to put on that Syracuse uniform?
Yeah, I mean, it's incredibly special. It's putting in that orange and going out and playing, and that environment is an unbelievable feeling, and playing in the Dome, there's nothing like it. And it's something I'll remember forever, and it's an experience I'll remember forever. So, yeah.
Last one for Sam in the back.
Adam Gotkin with Citrus TV. Sam, it's really tough to go up against a team like Maryland that is not scared to hold the ball for all 80 seconds on offense and get deep into the shot clock. How frustrating is that on offense when you guys don't necessarily have the possession that you're used to? And also, how tough is that on defense when you're stuck out there for the entire shot clock?
Yeah, I mean, I think you saw it firsthand out there. It's hard, and you could see us get a little frustrated, and I think you're sitting and watching those possessions go by, and you're feeling the life drain out of the game. It's tough. Yeah, I mean, I think we gave it our all. I think we gave it our best, and it just wasn't enough.
Thank you, Sam. Congrats on a great season. You can head back to the locker room if you like. We'll take questions for Coach right down here.
Coach Zach Wolf from the Daily Orange. It seemed like early on, especially in the first half, I guess whenever you guys made a mistake, Maryland punched it with the goal. Just walk me through, I guess, how Maryland was able to capitalize on some of the mistakes you guys made.
Well, a lot of times, we had some early mistakes, on the clear in the midfield. They pressured us a little bit. They were able to get their guys on, and we didn't get the ball out early. Early on, we were hesitant, and they were able to get turnovers, come right back down, and really just take control of that ball and wait until they found good shots. And like I said, most of the time they're deep in the shot clock, and if we got a save, Jimmy had a great first half, 10 saves, and kept giving us chances, but we needed to get the ball out quicker and more consistently in that first half, and we didn't do it.
Down front.
Brent at Syracuse.com again. Gary, you mentioned during the week that you got to make some tweaks when you play a team like Maryland. Is that half the battle? Is that half the challenge with Maryland, is that they make you alter your game plan? You think too much. There's so much that goes into that you have to adjust to them as opposed to
You have to make plays because they're going to take the ball and sit on it. So, and I think that maybe was a little too much for our guys, that pressure of, okay, I got to go out and make a play. And we got to do this early. And it kind of what they did to us, we wanted to be able to do to them, build a bit of a lead and then, kind of play with them. But when you're playing catch up, you really can't do that. And it made it really difficult to come back. And, but these guys are resilient, and they certainly didn't give up, and tried to make a couple small runs and get back in it, but unfortunately came up short.
Off to the right.
Kobe Scales, News House coach. A lot of people are saying Syracuse is back. It's the first time you've been here in a long time. What are the next steps to get into Memorial Day, actually making it to Memorial Day, playing in a championship game, and eventually winning it?
Well, I think, this year we made the first step, and that was getting here. And, I can tell you, go in that locker room, the guys aren't happy just getting here. They wanted to have a chance to play on Memorial Day, and they believed they could do it, but only one team moves on, and it wasn't us. So we will go back and try and get some more depth in certain positions and start over again for next year.
Right in the middle, in the red.
Hey, Coach Nolan Rogalski, Testudo Times. With that revitalization that was just talked about, it seems that the fan base has really been re-energized. I mean, it was a sea of orange out there today. What do you want them to take away from today and from this postseason?
That we're building our way back to where we need to be, and hopefully they've seen the progress, and they're buying into that this staff is getting the job done. Stick with us for at least another year and give us a chance, and but they're the best fans in lacrosse. It's nice to have them back here helping fill the seats. But they also put a lot of pressure on these guys because they only expect championships. So, it's tough to put on that orange jersey and not play on Memorial Day. And we were not there this year, but we'll be back.
Into black on the left.
Cooper Andrews with the Daily Orange. Coach, Joey got held to 0 goals today. Just what do you think went wrong in trying to, activate him today, and what more do you think could have been done to potentially scheme him open throughout the game?
We play our offense, and some days are tougher than others, and that's the number one defense in the country. Certainly in my opinion, it is. And it wasn't just Joey that struggled. It was it was the offense in general. Till we made a couple runs in the second half, we were having a tough time. We also lacked possessions. We weren't getting the possessions to get the offense going. Some games we need to get a few possessions to really get into the flow, and then we get a rhythm, and then we can score in bunches. And we did not get that at all in the first half, and they obviously marked up Joey, and we play a team offense, so he had some opportunities, he had some looks, he just wasn't able to get, but that goes for everybody, so certainly not just him.
Right here in the black in the middle.
Matt Kinnear, Inside Lacrosse coach. What is the lesson that you hope the team has learned, through this experience of making it to Memorial Day weekend and this big stage?
They definitely learned what it takes to get here, and I thought the discipline throughout the year that they showed was awesome, and the growth of this team. There's a lot of really good teams in Division I, and I've heard you guys, the media, say it several times. This year's the year, 8 teams could win it type thing, and the fact is, we were here, and I'm just incredibly proud of all of them for doing what it takes, and the growth of experience and being confident enough to make plays when we're down. And then to finish games the way we did from beginning of the ACCs all the way through to here, that's something we can build on and build some confidence from, and hopefully we start a notch up and go at it again next year.
In the middle up top, just a couple more.
Hey, Coach. Gino Antamarino, WAER. What's your parting words with some of your seniors that are obviously graduating class with Sam English, Owen Hiltz? What's your message to them, what they've meant to the program?
Oh, they've been incredible. When I took over, they were here. There's been a lot of, there's been some turnover. We brought in some new guys with the mission of building Syracuse lacrosse back and get back to championship weekend. That was the goal when I took over, and obviously from there it's to win a national championship again. And those seniors worked so hard over the last 3-4 years. They bought into everything we asked them to do, and their leadership was tremendous. And the culture of the program and this team is second to none. On and off the field, and I'm just very proud of what they've been able to do as leaders of this team.
Take 2 more right here and then down here.
Dan Chalama, Citrus TV. Coach, with the assist today, Joey hit 90 points, just the 4th Syracuse player ever to have 90 points in a single season. Just what does that mean to you as obviously player and coach?
It doesn't mean that it's great for him, but coaches, players, it's all about team success, and he'll say it if he was here. He'd trade any individual award or any individual stat for a team win, to be playing on Monday. So it's, he works really hard. No one works harder than he does. And he does a lot for this team. And, 90 points is awesome. But he'll be back for another year to try and play on Memorial Day.
We're going to take one down here and then close it with TV up top.
Coach, Chamberlain Bauder with Finger Lakes One. Just, you talked about the vibe in that locker room right now is not that, they got here. But at the end of the day, when, a month from now, these guys are thinking about this, how much of a fire did today light for them next season?
I think it'll go a long way. I know losing last year in the quarterfinals really was something that these guys came back and said, we're not going to lose that quarterfinal again. And they found a way to get the job done there. So I know they'll put their foot down and say, we are going to commit even more to this team to make sure that we get to the final and we get a chance to win a national championship. And I know that they're going to be one of the most committed teams in the entire country to get that done.
One more up top, please.
So much parity in college lacrosse right now. How has Maryland been able to do the success that they've had over these 12 years?
Well, it starts with a great coaching staff, and Coach Tillman's does an excellent job. And then they've been able to fill their program the last few years with players. They recruit the portal very well, and find players to fill the spots. And I know we've done that a little bit, but you got to be able to recruit the freshmen. You got to be able to recruit the portal. So I think over the last few years, they've done a really good job of doing that.
Coach, thank you so much. Safe travels home.
Thanks, guys.
Thank you, everyone.